Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Young Dad Gaming Reviews, the series where I recount, reminisce and review the games that I grew up on, as well as decide when or if my son will grow up on the same games, and which ones should be avoided for now due to extreme violence, suggestive themes, and or because the game just sucks. Next up, Dino Crisis. This is the dinosaur attacking you.
From the creator of Resident Evil, Dino Crisis.
Dino Crisis was a game released for PC and PS1 in 1999. It was created by survival horror genius Shinji Mikami, but instead of making this a RE skin copy of Resident Evil, Shinji Mikami wanted to branch into a different genre of the survival horror variety, which he called panic horror. I was so excited to get to this game for the series, as Dino Crisis is one of those games that reminds me so much of my childhood. Was it because I played this game growing up? Kinda. I owned this on the PS1 in Japanese before I even knew how to read Japanese, so I actually had to experience this game in a different way. Luckily for me, my mother is Japanese, and she loved this game. The version I remember watching her play was on the PC, and more specifically, the part I remember watching was a giant T-Rex chasing her down while she was riding on some kind of train or cart, while shooting grenades out of a bass fish while wearing some kind of cavewoman outfit. This sounds like a fever dream, I know. I've been looking for images of the bass fish grenade launcher online, and I cannot find anything. I swear to God, this thing exists. I'm not crazy, right?
I'm not crazy! Ah!
Anyways, trying to play this myself
When I was a little children.
was confusing, terrifying, and difficult. As an adult, I was finally able to complete it, but good God, this game was still difficult. How difficult? Well, let's rip it apart piece by piece and figure that out.
That's disgusting.
It's time. Let's move out.
You play as Regina, a member of the Special Operation Raid Team, or SORT for short. You're sent into a third energy research base on Ibis Island in the very distant future of 2009 to rescue a MySpace technician codenamed Tom. Along with possible bad guy Gale and token black guy Rick, you head to the island to discover things aren't as simple as you expected. Dinosaurs have somehow infested the island and have massacred just about everyone, usually by ripping them limb from limb.
That's disgusting.
Your objective is to find Dr. Edward Kirk and learn the dark secrets of these giant lizards. The gameplay is similar to Resident Evil with good old tank controls and fixed camera angles. Much like classic survival horror games, there are plenty of puzzles that can actually be a bit difficult, but are very satisfying when completed.
Will do. Concentrate on the mission.
The game starts on the outside of the facility, and the areas feel creepy and abandoned, especially when you head inside and see the thrashed offices. The intro has a very cool sequence where you walk down a long pathway with the camera behind Regina, and it isn't until you come back that you're being chased by a raptor. Sure, you can kill it, but it's a motherfucking raptor. The chase sequence is done by having Regina run towards the camera so you can watch the raptor gaining on you. Then, the game plays with your expectations here. In Resident Evil, when you face your first zombie, you can run back into the dining hall and be safe. But in Dino Crisis, they can follow you into almost any room. It's very panic-inducing. Speaking of panic, this game is officially titled a panic horror game, and it manages to make you do just that. Especially the moments where you literally have to panic and mash all the buttons. A retro form of QuickTime events. Your only defense against these giant turkeys
More like a 6-foot turkey.
are a pistol which fires so slowly and does almost no damage, and a shotgun which you can load with tranquilizer darts to incapacitate your would-be consumers temporarily. Towards the second half of the game, you find your way deeper into the facility, and it was at this point where the tension felt more annoying than fun. The enemies are much stronger, and many of the rooms look so similar, so if you had forgotten an item somewhere, good luck trying to find it again. Usually games would help you find new weapons or gain plenty of ammo to offset the difficulty curve. Not this game. What you get is what you get, so you better panic and run. Throughout the game, you are faced with choices you can make, but it's usually just, hey, either run past the raptors or perform a tedious puzzle. And when I say tedious, I mean tedious.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
The game, for its time, definitely looks great, and the design of the dinosaurs are very well done. Though there are only about 5 dinosaurs in the game. The Velociraptor, the Pteranodon, Compsognathus, Compies, the Therizinosaurus, which Therizinosaurus kind of sounds like a Tylenol dinosaur, and the T-Rex. Being that Jurassic Park was having a bit of a revival with its sequel being released 2 years earlier, of course the T-Rex is going to be amazing. The design of that giant bastard is really good for its time, and it is absolutely heart-wrenchingly terrifying. The gore in the game is also quite impressive, taking a note from Konami's good old Silent Hill by not shying away from the dismemberment and guts. The FMVs are also good fun to watch and make a nice wave of nostalgia flood your mind.
Oh, that's gonna hurt!
Do you like playing games where it's hard to hear characters speak? No? Oh. Well then.
Stay here, Junior. Leave the guards to me.
What?
Hey, did you hear what he just called?
What?
Forget about it. Just let Gale handle this.
Other than the voice acting being quite quiet, the music in the game is really kick-ass and really gets your blood pumping. I'm really glad this music doesn't play in real-life situations, because if it did, you'd have a heart attack. That being said, the save room music is nice and relaxing. If this roar doesn't get your heart racing, then you just might be dead. Your weapons, on the other hand, just sound like popcorn popping very slowly. So, how does Dino Crisis hold up after all these years? Dino Crisis is a beloved classic, and for good reason. While I feel that the combat can be a bit slow and difficult sometimes, it does so in a way that really makes you feel helpless and like you're fighting an enemy that you just don't understand. The second half of the game, though, I feel is a bit too large and convoluted to the point that it just gets annoying. Top all this off with a pretty cool ending and unlockables that give you some great replay value, like the Bass Fish grenade launcher. I swear this thing it's real. It's real! Overall, I give Dino Crisis 3 fiery redheads out of 5. While it burns brightly in the beginning as a great survival horror panic game, it begins to fizzle out a little bit towards the end. Definitely a great contender and a great retro experience. As for games I would let my son play, I'd give this one give it a few years, buddy, as when I was his age playing this, it was quite difficult. As for nostalgia value, this one is very nostalgic for me, as every time I play it, it just reminds me of my mom and how she was such a pro at this game. And every time I think about it, it just kind of brings me back home a little bit. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment down below for games you'd like to see on this channel, hit the subscribe button as it definitely helps me out, and ring that bell if you'd like to be notified. Also, in the time since my last video, I have finally reached 200 subscribers. To me, that is a huge deal. So thank you guys so much for supporting me. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos. It means a whole lot to me. Also, if you enjoyed the theme song, please check out Ellie's channel. She has amazing covers and she's got an incredible voice. So please give her some love as well. I will see you guys on the other side, because the next one we got is a little sequel I like to call Dino Crisis 2. Okay. Bye-bye!
You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got troubles, I got him too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. To stick together we can see it through, 'cause you got a friend